Okay, good morning, Year 8. Another start of another week. Here we go again. I just want to sort of say again how impressed I was actually with some of the test results on Wednesday. Some fantastic results there, and that's really showing that you're making some excellent progress in this time, and it's really, really impressive. Some of those questions weren't easy. Now, if you go back into Dr. Frost now, you should be able to get the answers if you made any mistakes, and you should be able to see where you went wrong. So that is part of what I want you to do today. If you need to do that, go back in and check. But apart from that, it's fantastic stuff. Well done. Keep it going. We haven't got that much more to do before we do some revision. So this is we'll do a little bit more today, and then Wednesday we might do something a little bit different. Okay. Right, okay, so we're going to start today. So you need your books out or paper if you've run out of book. Can you put a sort of starter as a title? And I'm going to give you, these are actually GCSE questions, but I think you can cope with this. So do the best you can. I'll let you use your calculator for this one if you want. For this bottom one, I'll disappear in a minute so you can see it a bit easier, but you've got to match the ones on the left, just match those to the ones on the right, okay? Right, okay. I'm going to give you about 5 minutes on that. When you're ready, guys, off you go. Okay guys, that's about time. What I want you to do now, please, is to mark your own work. So I'm going to scroll down to the answers here. These are a bit harder than the normal starter questions, but the first one, 6b minus 4b is just 2b. When you times, remember, you times the numbers first, so 6, and then you times the algebra, 6bc. We've got a cuboid, you just times them all together, 60, and then the surface area, you need to add up all the different rectangles. You end up with 94. The volume of this one, well, the area of the triangle is half of base times height, which is 6, and then 6 times 6 is 36. Increasing 54 by 17%. I think the best way to do that is times it by 1.17. Times it by 1.17. You should get 63.18. And then when you're dividing indices, you minus them, so that one's 5. Timesing them, you add them. When you do them like that, you multiply them together, and divide is minus again. So do make your corrections if you need to on that starter activity. Okay, pause the video as much as you want. Right, today we are continuing with data, and what we're going to do today is we're going to do bar charts and frequency polygons with continuous data. Okay, bar charts and frequency polygons with continuous data, and I think the date today is the 5th, so put the date in there. Okay, right, now I'm sure you'll know what a bar chart is. Some of you may not know what a frequency polygon is, but by the end of the lesson you'll see that it's not much harder than a bar chart. And hopefully you know what continuous data is now. It's when it's on a sort of sliding scale. We're going to go straight in with an example, and there's a little bit of copying today, but not too much. I'm going to put 3 columns in here. Okay. Now the first column I'm going to call height. Second column, frequency. And we're just going to leave the third column blank just for now. Okay, so 130. You can copy this out. Take your time, make it look nice and neat, please. 135. Okay, I'm just going to put the height is actually x, and let's say that's in centimeters. Okay, so you could have, these are all the brackets you could fit into, and let's say we've got 8 people, oops, sorry, 8 people in the smallest, and then we've got 14 in that category, 17 in the third category, 12 in the fourth, 4. That does give us a total of 65. Okay. Right, so there's our data. Now in a table it's not as easy to visualize. I mean, you can see that the most people fit into this middle category here, but sometimes a bar chart or a frequency polygon is a better way of representing the data. Okay, so let's look at this data in a table. What we're going to do, we're going to put it in a bar chart first. Okay, we're going to put it in a bar chart first. Now with bar charts and with frequency polygons in a minute, down the left side, you put frequency, down the left side, and then on the x-axis, this will be the height. Okay. Now the frequency, it goes up to 17. Yours should be much neater than mine because I haven't got squared paper. But let's go up to 20. And let's make these in intervals of 2. So 2, 6. 8, and then 12, 16. Okay, and then on the height, I could start at 0 if I wanted to, but you might have known this in science. I don't have to start. I'm just going to put a little squiggly line there to mean I'm not starting at 0. I'm going to start at 130, and it goes all the way up to 155. Let's go up to, so let's say that. Sometimes the hardest bit is getting the scale right. Okay, I don't need to go higher than 155 because that's my biggest value there. Now it's actually fairly easy, this, to be honest. Now for the 1330 to 135, that's between 130 and 135. That's going to go up to 8. So bar chart, go up to 8 on that one. 135 to 140 goes up to 14. Again, yours will be better than mine because I'm not using axis. I'm not using proper grids here. And then the 140 to 145 is 17, which is about halfway there, out there. Again, mine's not super accurate. Next one, 145 to 150 is 12. And the final one is 4. And there would be our bar chart. And you can see that's quite a nice way. Now I should put, I've labelled the axes, which is good. I need to put a title on the bar chart. So this is the heights. We don't know what this is actually. Let's say heights of children. Didn't know what it was. Heights of children. There. So I need to make sure I put a title on that as well. And that is a bar chart. And you would have seen bar charts probably in primary school even. Okay. Now a frequency polygon is extremely similar. A frequency polygon is extremely similar, but it's a bit like a scatter plot. Now for the frequency polygon, I need to put a third column in here. So I need to put a third column, and this is a midpoint. Okay, midpoint. Now, to get the midpoint is the halfway point between, for this first one, 130 and 135. Halfway point. The best way to get the halfway point is you add the extreme values and divide by 2. If you add the extreme values and divide by 2, you always get the right midpoint. So 135. You can probably see what the midpoint is as well, some of you. But if in doubt, just add the extreme values. 140 over 2. This one, I'm just going to 0.5, and the last one's 1.5. Okay. So the only difference for a frequency polygon, still got frequency down the left side. Okay. Still got height down here. I'm going to put the same scale in here. Then 2, 18. And the only difference here is I'm going to still put the same here, 130, 5, 40, 5, 50, and it does go up to 155. As I say, exactly the same for the scale. I should put the same title in as well. The only difference is I plot the midpoint with the frequency. So the first one is 132.5, 8. 132.5 is halfway there, 8, and I put a cross. Okay. Next one was 137.5 and 14. So let's just go 14 and I put a cross. Next one was 17, wasn't it, out there, roughly there. Again, yours will be a bit more accurate than mine. Next one was 12, the halfway point there, 12 out there. And the last one was 4, which is down here. Okay, so I plot the points and then I must join them. Okay, I join them with straight lines. Okay, so for a frequency polygon, you plot the midpoints against the frequency, and then you join with straight lines. Okay, join with straight lines. Note, okay, never join first last point. Okay, so if I did that, that is a disaster. Don't do that. That's not what you want to do. So never join the first and the last point. And they must be straight lines. That's really important. They must be straight lines, and it must be the midpoint. Must be the midpoint. Okay, so that is all a frequency polygon. It's just a fancier bar chart. Again, quite easy to see what's going on with a frequency polygon, and some mathematicians prefer it. But that's all it is. Nothing too fancy, really. Okay. Now, when we've got a bar chart and a frequency polygon, we might be asked a few bits of information about it, okay? So it might ask us a few questions based on that. So it might say, find the modal class of heights. Okay, so find the modal class of heights, or find the mode. Now the modal, some of you may know this, is the most common. Most common. Okay, it's a type of average. Now the most common, now I can look at this in 3 different ways. I could find it from the table. Okay, well the most common is that one. I could find it from the bar chart. The most common is obviously that one, it's the highest peak. Or I could find it from the frequency polygon. The most common is that one. And it asks for a class, so I put the whole thing in. So the answer there is 140. X 145. That is my answer to the modal class of heights. Okay, the modal class. You could be asked the range. Find the range of heights. Okay, find the range of heights. Now the range, again, you may know it's the largest minus the smallest. Okay, largest minus smallest. Because we don't know what the largest is, we have to take it as it could be 155. So we do the largest, which is, in this case, it could be 155, and we minus it from what the possible smallest could be. Possible smallest could be 130. So I do 155 minus 130. And my range of this continuous set of data would be 25. That is, that's my answer. Okay. Right, that's all the notes today. Now today I'm going to make you do a bit of work from the textbook, okay, because the textbook is much better than this than Hegarty, unfortunately. So I'm going to make you do some work from the textbook. I'm going to send around the answers again, but you must mark your own work. What I want you to do is following, okay. So page 311, exercise 5D. I do want you to do all of these questions. So question 1, oh, that's quite long. Maybe just the odds actually. So just the odds. So 1 to 9, just the odds. It does go on to page. It goes up to page 314. So it does go all the way up to page 314. And then I want you to do exercise 5E, 15E. Sorry, this is 15D and 15E. No, 15F, sorry. So I want you to do exercise 15F, which is on page 317, all the way up to 320. And I want you to again do, actually, I want you to do the evens on that exercise, okay, which is question 2 to 8. So I want you to do exercise 15D, which starts on page 311. Just do the odds. It goes up to page 314. And I want you to do page 317 up to page 320, just the evens on exercise 15F. Okay, I want you to mark your work. It's really important, and make corrections. Mark your own work and upload, please, to the correct OneNote page, which you're all becoming very good at. OneNote page. Okay, right, good luck, guys, with that. I'm on the emails if you need anything. And on Wednesday we might do something a little bit different. So, just I'll see you again on Wednesday for sure. Have a great week, though, guys. You're doing really, really well again, and keep it up. Okay, well done.